YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome to Troll Country where strange things are afoot. Yes, we're going to have one battle and 7 Cygors. I know, just soak that up for a minute. Some of you may be asking, Air, wait a minute. That math just doesn't add up. How can you have 7 Cygors in a single battle? Well, it's when you're playing FFA and every faction is Beastmen, you quickly learn what one of the favorite units for the Beastmen is, and apparently it's Cygors, myself included. Check out my complete shenanigan Beastmen FFA army, where I've brought all the units that would do good in FFA, like chariots. I've got a Beast Lord and a Bray Shaman, a Beast that can also summon a Manticore, 2 Cygors, because yes, a Giant, because yes, Minotaurs, because, well, yes. And then we've got Warhounds with Poison, and 4 units of Cygors. I didn't bring any armor-piercing Cygors, because Beastmen don't have a lot of armor. Go check out some of the other armies. So, also out here on the battlefield, outlined in the blue, is going to be That Wasn't a Fart, but that is also debatable. We will see whether or not it was indeed a fart. He's got 2 Cygors, trading with 3 Cygors from the enemy. They are, like, literally pelting each other with rocks. Pretty awesome. And I say 3 because one of them summoned, so that's where we get our 7th Cygor. 3 players took 2 Cygors, and 1 player took no Cygors. And I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna have to do this, Pufflix.
Shameful display!
That's right. So Pufflix, I'm just kidding. We love you. All right. So here we go. This one we've got Malagor, who, again, could potentially summon yet another Cygor. We may see that because we already have one summoned here. So this may turn into 8 Cygors real quick. Anyway, these 2 Beastmen factions are going to start laying into each other rather quickly. This is going to be a fight between That Wasn't a Fart and Matgopak here, and you can see them trading very early, and they're going to really be fighting it up. We got Gorbull on Gorbull. This is some hot action here, folks. Cygor on Cygor, Gorbull on Gorbull. This is Beastmen squared. Beef squared. Kind of like that Krusty Burger special a long time ago on The Simpsons. In any case, yeah, big fight going on here. I love it. It's absolutely crazy. Malagor's gonna wish he had a chariot right now. Look at the rocks just plowing into this giant beastie brawl here. Pufflix is walking around to try and get a side angle on this. Now, he's got some Cygors with throwing axes, a couple of poison warhounds. Love it. And then he's got some Ungor herds. Quite a few of them, actually. And then there's going to be some Gore herds and other units mixed in with the giant Khazrak One Eye, not to be confused with his cousin Khazrak Four Eyes, who had to wear glasses and hadn't had an eye removed. So yes, the 2 are similar otherwise. He's also got a Bray Shaman Lore Shadows, which, you know, Shadows and Beast, I don't know, I kind of lean towards Beast a lot, but both quite good, I feel like, for these matchups. So what am I doing? Well, I'm sitting in the background, just throwing rocks into the fight. That's very typical Air, like, I'm very non-committal here, you know. I'm gonna pick on other people who are fighting each other. Oh boy, yeah. In an FFA, there's always a balance act you have to play, right? You have to get involved, or you won't get any points. But if you get too involved, you might get wrecked too quick, and you won't get enough points. And right now, I'm playing obviously very slow here. Matgopak and That Wasn't a Fart are trading for most points at the moment, while Pufflix is coming in, looking to quickly elevate himself above me, because the only points that I'm getting are points that are coming in from 2 Cygors hurling rocks from a long distance. So I will pay a point price in terms of keeping my distance. We'll see whether or not that strategy betrays me in the end or not. Get back to our Gorbull on Gorbull action here. Green Gorbull currently taking down Blue Gorbull with the help of a Bray Shaman, Lore of Wild. So this is some Cloven on Cloven goodness here, and Gorbull loses to Gorbull, which means that Gorbull can defeat anything, including himself, which was just proved. You saw it first here. We're also going to get some sweet Minotaurs with shields against Minotaurs with shields. This is into a mirror, folks. Look into the mirror, as it is an all-out Brayherd brawl. I love it. And then there's me throwing rocks into the into the back of it. I'm now solidly in last place. You can see that my strategy is working out beautifully. Check out Malagor here. Trying to take on Khazrak. Khazrak is going to be more than a match for Malagor, especially since he gets a bonus versus infantry, and Or Malagur thinks he is large, but for a Beastman, he's rather small. And CA also says that his unit model counts as not large, so take that, Malagur. He has the wings, too, but he can't even fly through stuff like that we see Sartorial do, so Malagur just gets stuck in a never good enough type of situation here. Now, part of the reason why we were playing all Beastmen here is just for fun. A lot of people are speculating that there's a Beastmen DLC. We don't know what's coming up. CA just released a tease, basically saying, hey, look at all these free LCs we've had. So there's obviously something coming on the FLC horizon. As far as DLC goes, I think we know that there's more out there for Warhammer 2. We just don't know what yet or when. And then, of course, we have Warhammer 3 coming, so I think a lot of us are hoping that we're going to see something for Beastmen. I know I am, because I really like the Beastmen, and I want to see them get some love. And I'm sure all the factions will eventually get it. We're just very impatient as players of the game, right? So my Cygors are getting some good work done. This one's got 97 kills, this one 95 kills. I think I had a Chevron on these Cygors, though I could be wrong. And they've picked up another one along the way, so they're doing a lot of damage. They've hit some fairly valuable targets. Oh, I'm going to use my Warhounds with poison to kind of buffer out some of these units. And then as the Cygors, as the Gore herds approach, I'm not going to throw away my Hounds. They're too valuable. So what I'm going to do is kind of use the army the way that I intended here. As I do get into action, I'm going to use some big single entity units, because Beastmen actually aren't great at fighting big single entity units most of the time. They do have some tools, so I'm not trying to say they're completely empty-handed. But I'm going to use my single entities against their infantry and keep my Cygors throwing their rocks, and then as more reinforcements come in to fight against me, like these Arkansas Razorback Gore herds. Oh, wait, sorry. Just Razor Gore herds. As they come in, I'm going to try and intercept them with a unit that they don't want to fight, like Minotaurs. So I'm not going to give them the targets that they want. I'm going to try and feed them targets that they really don't want, like Feral Manticores, Chariots, and the like. You can see we give them a little bit of rock smashing there. And then again, trying to keep my Cygors and Warhounds from direct engagements that'll get them overly damaged, because I want these units late into the game to help me run off everything that's remaining. So far so good. I'm finally getting some points, but again, still solidly holding up my position in last place, because I still haven't killed anything that has any great deal of value, whereas the other players are, right? They're attacking single entities, and that's where you get some points, is when you start taking out a lot of hit points on single entities. So you're going to see that from the other players right now, as far as just leaving me utterly in the dust in terms of points. That wasn't a fart right now. Currently leads by a relatively narrow margin. I think Matt Gopak is relatively low on units, though. He does have this back here, which is Kazrak. I'm going to see a... is that a Pit of Shades? Yeah, Pit of Shades going off in the middle of this fight here. Gotta love you some Pit of Shades. Yeah, it was this Spray Shaman right here. I picked up a kill while that was going. So, yeah, that wasn't a fart, jumping a little further up into the lead, but Pufflick's now in second place and getting into a pretty good position, all things considered. At this point, I have a very solid chance of being the last Brayherd standing, but it's definitely going to be a question of whether or not I can rack up enough points. So, in the interest of getting points, I'm going to go start taking out easy targets and racking up anything I could get. When a unit shatters, though, I believe that is the end of your ability to get points from it. So that's going to prevent me from being able to completely mop up routing units. There is a giant out here, and he is worth a lot of points. And honestly, I probably should just go attack it and try and get those points. But at the same time, I'm still playing overly cautious, whereas Pufflix is over here trying to regroup, and then he's also trying to stay away from That Wasn't a Fart's Sons of Goros, and I've been throwing a lot of rocks at these units, so That Wasn't a Fart now regaining the lead and releasing some kind of smell onto the battlefield that wasn't a fart by his own proclamation there, so don't think otherwise, folks, don't think otherwise. Yeah, there we go. So he's going to clean up some more points and get himself about 500 ahead of Pufflix. And this is a giant that belongs to Pufflix at this point. And and then a few more of his units have regrouped back here. And at this point, I am going to go ahead and get ready to move my units up. I was attacked here by a couple more of Pufflix's regrouped units, was able to pick up just a few more points, nothing significant for me though. You can see over here, we're going to have the Eye of Morslib, who's fighting against another Kazrak. There are two Kazraks, one back here in the back, and then the one fighting the Eye of Morslib. But this is definitely helping these two players continue to get points, and I remain a good long ways behind. And I have used, I think, almost all of the ammunition now, so that was one of my goals. I wanted to use all the ammunition. Cheeky pendulum here, not quite going to catch me. I was able to move in time. And like I said, I've got one Cygor with some ammo left. 154 kills there, 165 on the other one. Got 97 kills on the Bray Shaman, and 78 on my Beast Lord. So pretty good action on him. The Eye of Morslib, of course, is going to be a point-rich target, and I want to engage him in such a way as that that wasn't a fart won't get many points, and I will. So I'm going to send in units that the Eye of Morslib doesn't really want to fight. Units that can chop through his armor easily, and hopefully give me the best chances here. And you can see that I do start to pick up points rather rapidly in the fight against the Eye of Morslib here. In fact, he begins to fall away from that, not wanting it anymore, but I do. I want all the points, so I'm going to chase him and try and continue to score some points off of this until he shatters, because I do believe that you can get... Yeah, see, I'm still getting points by chipping at him until he shatters, so I'm going to have to keep something chasing him, so I'm going to send in these Cygors, which is a fast-moving unit that can keep nipping at his heels and getting me some points on the board. So I'm starting to move up towards not being in last place, which is great. It's always good, but hey, you know, if you're going to lose, you're going to lose. It's no biggie. It's happened many, many times. You can see Pufflix here kind of gathering up his troops. Matt Gopak gets knocked out of the battle as he sends forth his Kazrak, which I killed with my Beast Lord and some Cygors. And then the Eye of Morslib provides me with a fair number of points because it doesn't shatter until just now. So that gets me into a better position on the scoreboard. And there is a giant over here, which is quite a few more points. So if I can get another good engagement, I might have a chance of pulling this off. But it's going to be very close between myself and Pufflix. That wasn't a fart. Does still have a single unit here, the Sons of Boris, which is kind of in the process of running away. We'll see what happens. I'm going to summon up a Manticore and start going after the giant and attempt to get some points on the board here and see if I can make enough to make a comeback. I will get points if I'm the last the last beast standing, and I'll also get points, obviously, for any of the health that I can drain off of Pufflix at this point. So I'm doing what I can. See my Manticore engaging the giant, and I've got the remainder of my units moving in now. Cleaned up the Sons of Goros, and now we're going to get the giant caught into melee, and hopefully I can start getting some pretty significant points off him. The biggest problem here that could hurt me is leadership. I actually need the enemy units to stay alive long enough to give me points, hopefully not giving them many in return. You see, though, Pufflix does get some points because the giant is taking shots. And that is going to push him up close to first place, now into first place. So that wasn't a fart. Still in here trying to get something done as well. Very nice spell there by Pufflix, but I am starting to gain points at a very rapid clip and closing some of the distance between us. So the more points I get, the better, because again, last beast standing is pretty much a guarantee for me at this point. But now the giant starts to rout, and I'm like, no, 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 everybody hit him. Give me points, give him fast. We don't get much else here on the end with the giant wavering, and the game ends. I get my points, and as you all saw, it was so close, but not enough. I came within 130 points, but Pufflix just barely edged me out there. I almost brought it back. He got just enough points there in the end, and me just not enough to swing the victory, though, even though I had almost half of my army remaining. Just wasn't enough. So there you go. There's that trade-off of getting involved early versus not getting involved. In this case, it did not pay off for me in terms of winning the match by points, or period in this case, because the match is won by points. As we look at the value on some of my units, pretty good value I think I got out of many of the units. The Cygors actually still hadn't paid for themselves by that point, but could have because they still had enough hit points left. I think good payback out of the Minotaurs. And my Cygors didn't get a ton of action, but the action they got, I think, was a pretty good trade. And if we go start looking at the other ones here, Pufflix with Kazrak got some nice work done, did a great job with his Bray Shaman, Lure of Shadows, and his Giant got quite a lot of damage done as well. Pretty solid work out of the Hounds, I think, and overall pretty decent work out of the Cygors with throwing axes as well. So good job by Pufflix, congrats on that win. That wasn't a fart. Again, we'll leave that up to you to determine whether or not it was. Malagor the Dark Omen, and Gorbel getting some damage done. This Cygor did excellent work there, and so did his Eye of Morslib. Definitely getting quite a few points in their favor. Where he got hurt a little bit here, though, is like this Bestigor herd just couldn't pick up any value, so it didn't help him as much. And then Matt Gopak here with Kazrak getting a ton of kills. Didn't end up being a lot of value, but man, did he murder some fellow beast. And then we got his Bray Shaman of Wild. Didn't rack up a whole bunch here, but his Gorbel came in, putting in a pretty nice job. And then, of course, the Cygors doing lots of raw damage. Not enough to pay themselves off, but doing some great raw damage along the way. Hey, appreciate all the players who joined in. This was from my stream. I did a multiplayer stream, actually, yesterday, which was Thursday the 11th, I believe. Yeah, Thursday the 11th. So appreciate everybody who joined. We had a good time. We did experience lag yet again. I don't know why we're hitting so much lag on the servers. I'm going to continue to try and do multiplayer streams. But if we get in and we get laggy, I'll just play some Warhammer, which is what we ended up doing last night. We had a couple battles, got really laggy, and so I just played some Warhammer with you all. And so that's what we'll do. We'll keep it up. But again, appreciate the folks who joined in. Great battle, tons of fun. I mean, honestly, like, I like the multiplayer in Warhammer 2. I'm just not super into it unless it's just fun battles with you all at this moment. So if you don't see a ton of battles from me, I'm not playing a lot. Now, I will still try and record some from, like, the Warhammer World Championships, which, keep an eye out for that. I'm going to try and get some more of that up soon. But if you don't see it from me, again, not because I don't like it or I think it's bad. It's just the game's 3 years old, and I'm less interested in the multiplayer right now. Actually, I'm having more fun in the single player Total War Warhammer 2 at the moment than I do in the multiplayer. But like I said, the only real difference there is that, like, when I get to have battles with you all, it's a lot of fun and I enjoy it. I like watching other people play and kind of checking it out. I just don't have as much motivation to go play competitively like myself or anything like that. So hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. Do hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you soon with some more action in Total War Warhammer 2 and other games.